Hello and welcome back to Reading in the Peers, where we chat about and discuss all sorts of movies. My name is Gary O'Brien, and with me as always for the monthly movie awards, it's my co-host David Scanlon as we present our accolades to the films of July 2022. So stick around, we hope you enjoy. See, I honestly looked into this. I was trying to see how much it would cost to get July by Monday.
No, you could probably meet him in town. He'd probably give it to you.
Yeah, I'd be like, here, Monday, come here to me.
Can you do a live version for us?
Yeah,
oh,
ladies and gentlemen,
yeah.
Monday.
Okay, so, do you know the way, like, July is always seen as that month?
It is seen as that month.
In the middle of the year, alright, you're on your summer holidays,
yeah.
Good weather,
mm-hmm.
You know, you're in good mood.
World Cup.
Points on the canal.
Yeah.
Cans on the canal. You're in a good mood. Everyone's in flying form.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is now the most depressing month of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a bad month for movies.
If you've come here for joy and, you know, turn it off now.
Turn it off now. If you've ever seen Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events where Jude Law's like, stop listening to this because it's going to be sad. And that's what this podcast is, because we've nothing good to say. Turn back now.
There's a little bit of a ray of light.
There's one good fucking movie this month.
There's one little ray of light. I can't wait to talk about it.
I can't wait to talk about it because it's fantastic. So hello, if you're still here, wow. Thank you very much for downloading and listening to the episode. So for anyone that might not be aware, this is where myself and David put ourselves through the torturous task of watching a load of movies that come out in a month and then giving it awards. And the awards we tend to have are Movie of the Month, self-explanatory, Poovie of the Month, which is the worst movie of the month. We have something called the Hidden Gem Award, which is for probably a really good movie that not many people might have heard of. And then we have Blatant Muck, which is the opposite of that, where it's like a movie that everyone knows about and it fails on many levels and it's just wasted its potential.
The Eamon Dunphy Award.
The Eamon Dunphy Award. Eamon, thanks for listening. Then we also have Best Actor, so that's our the Pierce Brosnan Award for Excellence in Acting, and then we have our Worst Actor, which is the Pierce Brosnan Award of Incompetence in Acting. So we hand those out, and the awards are decided by the Academy. The Academy consists of two people, myself and David. In the event of the tiebreaker, we tend to go to a third party, and anyone who's listened to the last few, there's been a few. I'm not going to list them all. Go listen to them, get those downloads. But basically it used to be me, and then this whole thing where I need to find someone else. So I think for this episode,
we've gathered these minions.
I was going to say a big robot I built.
Nah, that'll go over people's heads, guys.
Okay, right. I have 1,500 minions as producers.
And we will talk to each one individually.
Tally all of their votes. This podcast is going to be 9 hours long. They don't know how to say yes or no. They just say banana.
I think I know what's going to get best movie.
So the movies we're talking about Thor Love and Thunder, Minions, The Grey Man, and many other DC League of Super Pets, the big heavy hitters of the month.
Wow.
So if you want to jump around, if you haven't seen movies, there's time codes below. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. What one shall we start with first? Oh, I guess one more thing. I do this thing where I'm about to start and then I remember I forget something. So at the end of every movie, we tend to go to our peer review where we read out a review of a movie someone has sent in. So be sure to do that for the next month, because August is not good and we need to know what people think. So yeah, let's get into it. What we start with, David?
We're starting with Visible Garbage, is it?
Blatant Muck.
Blatant Muck, sorry. Jesus.
Just said it, David.
Eamon, I'm sorry. We start with Thor. I feel like this is going to be
Thunder.
Yeah, Thor Love and Thunder, the biggest movie probably of the year in terms of like
expectations. Excitement.
Yeah.
Rocks.
So
lightning.
This is the story of Thor. We all know who Thor is, part of the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
He has joined the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's just going on different adventures. But, you know, he's not happy with life.
Yeah.
He hasn't found that thing that he wants to just hold on to.
Another hammer.
Yeah. But then we also meet Gore, who isn't happy with religion.
Yeah.
And the gods of said religions.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been going around god butchering.
Yeah.
So it's a head-to-head between Gore the God Butcher and Thor, the
God boy.
God of Thunder.
Yeah. I also forgot if anyone listened to last month's episode, I had a fun name for this movie. I don't feel like saying it. It didn't earn it. I have another one if you want me to read it.
Yeah.
Thor 4, what a bore galore. That'll make you snore. A chore of an eyesore that will have you out the door and want no more. Therefore, best ignore.
how many goes at the...
It's 5 hours. I called it to work.
Encyclopedia that day. Do you know what? I think we're done. I think that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, okay. So, like, I put up a thing on the Instagram of, I guess, my review, and a lot of people kind of was like, what? This is bad.
It was long, Gary. Your review was long.
Yeah, I didn't have a good time with it.
Yeah.
Look, like you said, I think with this movie there was just so many expectations going in. Thor Ragnarok by the same director, Taika Waititi, was a nice breath of fresh air, and then this slowly choked me to death.
Yeah.
Took all the air out of me.
Yeah, I think that with Thor Ragnarok, it was a perfect balance between something that was kind of... there was the nice bit of action, nice bit of comedy, there was a good bit of heart to it and stuff, whereas this, I feel like, just went right over the edge.
With a lot of jokes.
Yeah. It was way... And, like, I enjoy... the ghost of Taika Waititi is in the room. I enjoy a comedy, but, like, I feel like this was too silly.
Yeah, I just feel like if you're making a comedy movie, don't have a character called Gore the God Butcher, because that just ruins the tone.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like this... I don't know if it should have been taken out of the hands of Taika Waititi, but I definitely feel like there should have been some sort of rein put on him to say, like, you know, it can be silly, but, like, just...
have a story that makes sense.
Yeah, and have some sort of, like, have some sort of, you know, constant path that the characters are going on, rather than just jumping from one place to the next.
Yeah, and, like, that's kind of what this movie felt like. It was like, here's a scene, and the characters will make jokes, and then they go to the next bit, and it's just very... It just felt very... The pacing was way off, I felt. But it tries to tell two stories. One, which is kind of mentioned, Gore the God Butcher, where this guy is like, I don't like these gods anymore. I'm going to go around and kill them all. And then the other one is the storyline of Jane Foster.
Oh, I didn't know if we were going to...
Well, she's Thor. You see in the trailer, she's Thor.
Fair, yeah. Okay,
So she's Thor, but there's like, you don't really know why she's Thor or how she became Thor. So it's a bit of a mystery, but it's them kind of working together to kind of take down Gore. But that's a storyline that's in the comics. And I don't like to be one of these guys who's like, well, actually in the comic, you know, I don't like to be that, except when I do like to be like that. But what happened, I felt, was they tried to tell these two stories and didn't give enough attention to either, and it felt very just jarringly split. And I think another thing that disappointed me about this movie was how much the other, like, Thor Ragnarok and Avengers Endgame had set up for this movie. And I don't think this is too much of a spoiler to say, but, like, you know, like you said, he's with the Guardians. They're not in it for that long.
It's like a segment. It's like a pre-credit scene. That's
like it feels like a James Bond, you know, just before the credits roll. And then, geez, I would have loved to watch a James Bond movie instead of this. That's going to be another thing I do in this episode.
We're going to come back to that.
What you should watch instead of this movie. And the other thing is, the whole New Asgard thing that was set up in Avengers Endgame, that seemed kind of interesting as well. Barely explored. And even the character of Valkyrie, I was kind of a bit let down by. Nothing to do with Tessa Thompson. I just felt what she was given to do was not a lot. And there was a thing in... Not too much of a spoiler, but like, she's a gay character, and there was a whole thing about Tessa Thompson came out and was like, oh, she's gonna find love in this movie, and then she came out a couple of months or years later or whatever, however long it took to make this movie, and she was like, yeah, there might not be time for that, so you might not see it. I'm just like, why are you in it then? And I felt like Thor is kind of buddied up with Natalie Portman's Jane Foster, and then Valkyrie's just there as well. Yeah,
Korg as well. Like, they have a team, but like,
you don't need
you're not given any time with the other characters to make it like worthwhile to have a team. In my opinion, I don't know how you felt about Christian Bale, but I thought like he did a good job at what he was given. But like, I could have used a montage or some sort of scene of him like ripping through some gods.
Yeah, and that's not too much of a spoiler either. Yeah, Gore the God Butcher, you don't see a lot of butchering.
Yeah. And I can understand, maybe in one sense, they're trying to make this more for families, whatever.
Fuck
but like,
off. You have a character called Gore the God Butcher.
The God Butcher. It's like, it just makes.
It's like, even in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, you saw the child snatcher, snatch a few childs.
Yeah. And then the other thing I have to point out is the Gore the God Butcher makes creatures in this, so these kind of dark, shadowy creatures, horrendous.
Yeah, like, but did you
see? I know what they said.
They were like, they were drawn by the kids of the director and actor. I'm like, that just seems like you're scapegoating your children.
That's no excuse. You're a $1 billion company.
Yeah, that cost $180 million to make.
I know. So just overall, hugely disappointing. I said it. I sent you a voice note after that. I was just hugely disappointed.
Yeah, and again, like, I just felt like Taika Waititi, it just felt like he was just making it because he had to make it. I don't know. Who am I to say? I don't know what I say about this shit. But I'm just saying, and again, this is another argument where it's kind of like, but these movies are made for kids. I'm like, I'm aware, but you know, so much of your fan base is not a kid and
anymore.
and also, who the fuck do you think is buying those like $500 statue shit, like collectible shit? Like, understand your audience. And I just think this is so childish and just a weird tone for the franchise, the way they were kind of building it. I just felt this was weird. It just, I think, I can't remember, was it Jeremy Jahns or Grace Randolph, where it's just like everyone wants to be Paul Rudd's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And
everyone wants to be Paul Rudd, that's exactly it,
And there was also a weird joke about like Thor's hammer being jealous.
Yeah, as you actually, I don't know if you put this in your review, but it felt like an SNL sketch most of the time. Like
Thor's character development from the first movie, like, just if you look at the first movie and the fourth movie, completely different Thors. And even the Thor in Endgame and Infinity War, that's a badass. This guy's a fucking moron.
I wouldn't be surprised if within the next few years they retcon this to something like this was Party Thor from
that's what I said to you, is like, if this was Party Thor from the What If series,
completely makes so much sense.
But I understand they want to use Chris Hemsworth is a very funny guy. He's really, really funny. But I just felt like him applying that to this character just feels very jarring. Like,
it's just it's just like, for me, the main thing about this is, number one, it's hugely disappointing, but number two, I think like the fixes seem quite easy to make. It's not like, it doesn't seem complicated to fix this movie, in my opinion.
Just add more Russell Crowe.
Are we going to get into that bit?
I'm just going to briefly mention how, when I watched the trailers, I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this Russell Crowe guy. And he's probably my favourite part of the movie, just because he is super silly, but I don't know why.
It kind of calls for it, doesn't it?
It kind of calls for it because of the type of character he's playing. Because, I don't want to spoil the movie too much in case some people want to go watch it.
It's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus. Have fun. Hate yourself.
But
this is up for visible garbage, I think, because of, like, you know, like you said, how disappointing it was with expectations. Waste of Christian Bale. Can't believe this is his first superhero movie after The Dark Knight Rises. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in my reviews I mentioned. I was very angry when I wrote this.
You go through like a lot of emotions.
Yeah, you can see where I just start crying. I wrote sob, sob, sob.
Yeah. I think the main thing is that people will take away from this is how weak it is compared to Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, and I think that's the movie you should watch instead.
Just watch that instead.
Like, you are well better off watching Thor Ragnarok again.
Yeah.
The peer review actually comes in from Owen, and he gave it 2 stars, and he said, a good kids movie, very corny with too many jokes. Comedy was okay, but it never nailed the emotions of the movie. Thor, once again, starting from scratch with his character development. It was definitely okay. Classic new Marvel.
Yeah. And I feel like I enjoy Marvel as much as anyone, but last few films or last few series have just not hit it for me. And I don't know whether it's... I'd say a lot of it is to do with just the overuse of content. Like, they're just sticking out so much in such short period of time. And I feel like some of it is due to COVID. Like, they're just trying to get everything out that they kind of built up over that time. But they need to just rein it back a bit. Like, and just create... Just go back to what you were doing. Like, you were doing so many good things. Like, and, you know, every once in a while something didn't hit, like with maybe an Ant-Man or something like that, like where people didn't like universally enjoy it. But like every so often you get a Thor Ragnarok, you get Winter Soldier, Infinity War,
Black Panther.
I mean, and like, you've become something so huge. I feel like it's that thing of the snake eating its own tail.
Well, my other thing as well, like, if this was DC, everyone would be like jumping on it, just calling it shit and like review bombing it. You know what I mean? People are getting very, you know, like, defensive of Marvel.
But yeah, I think we should move on.
Yeah, we should. Okay, what other thing are we going to moan about? The Grey Man?
Oh, are we moving straight on to The Grey Man? Oh,
lovely. So The Grey Man is a Netflix movie that cost $200 million. It's directed by the Russo brothers, who did Avengers Endgame. It's got Chris Evans. It's got Ryan Gosling. It's got Ana de Armas. It's got Regé-Jean Page from Bridgerton, and it is all about... Have you ever seen one of those movies where a guy works for a shady government agency, and then the government agency betray him, and he has to go rogue and take down an individual in the government agency? That's this movie. You've probably seen it before, but this has different actors in it. This was... I was very disappointed by this as well. And I thought, look, I know, again, I said this might have been good, and it wasn't.
But I can definitely see where you're coming from. Like, how do you get Ryan Gosling to sign up
multi-picture deal?
Like,
he's never signed a multi-picture deal in his life, and he waited for this.
Ana de Armas is probably, like, in the form of her life when you consider, like, Knives Out and James Bond. Like, she's two completely different characters, but absolutely smashed both of them.
And she's playing, what's her face? Marilyn Monroe now.
Marilyn Monroe, yeah, again, a Netflix movie. So yeah, I can absolutely understand, but the thing for me with this is, like, Netflix movies, I always have this thing in the back of my head about Netflix movies, and every so often they prove me wrong with something that, you know, is just, you know, brilliant or whatever. It might be something, you know, kind of surprising, but with things like this, I'm like, this is like Extraction.
Yeah,
it's like
Red Notice.
Like all
Six
those
Underground.
Yeah, all those different action movies, and like, do you know what? They're probably a fun time for someone, you know, if they're just sticking on in the background, but nothing more than that. And it's such a waste of talent.
But they don't care. They get paid a shit ton of cash for it.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll boost their numbers.
Yeah,
you know?
and they all seem to have a lot of fun. Like, Chris Evans seems to be having a great time with this.
Yeah.
I think, and Ana de Armas, I think, once again, just shows, like, just give her own thing. I know she's in the John Wick spin-off, Ballerina, which I'm very excited for. And as I said on the No Time to Die podcast, would love to see her character, you know, spin off from that and do her own thing as well. So, you know, it's great to kind of, once again, display her talents.
Yeah.
But, like, Ryan Gosling, like, I love Ryan Gosling. What's he doing in this?
Yeah, and I said this to you, like, Ryan Gosling is good in that kind of role where he's kind of stoic and stuff when things are happening around him.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like because he's the center of everything in this, it's just everything falls flat.
Yeah.
The action in this is so, like, I don't know if it's the CGI. It's
a lot of it is the CGI because there's a scene where they're falling from a plane and it's really rubbery and really bad. And it just made me, when I was watching it at home, I was like, thank God I'm not seeing this on a cinema because it would haunt me. But, like, it kind
of looked like those rubber men,
didn't
you know,
it?
they're just like flying through the air.
And, like, some of the action is kind of cool, but I expect, and I know this is me just being, like, movie snob in a way, but I expect more than kind of cool from the Russo brothers. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
the guys that brought you Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I expect more than that's good. But again, if this movie was directed by, I don't know,
Michael Bay or
like, I'm trying to think of, like, the guy who did Snake Eyes, and it's got I don't know, the guy from the Reacher show on Amazon Prime. If it's got, like, all those, like, level of talent in it, I'm like, you know what, that's really fun. But it's just because of the talent involved and the product it produced. It's a fun time, but I just remember watching it being like, what is this? And the story is fun. Like, it's based
so
on a
generic.
book. Like, but I don't know when that book came out, but, like, it must have come out before all the other movies came out.
Yeah, exactly. And the one person I do want to tear apart in this is your man, Regé Jean Page.
Yes. Join me in my hatred, David.
So, the thing, like, I hadn't seen Bridgerton, but I'd heard great things about him.
He's alright in Bridgerton.
Yeah, and I'd heard he was, you know, the big name for the next James Bond. But after seeing this, I'm like, no, please step
get him
back.
as far away from James Bond as possible.
Get back in your box, because we're supposed to believe that he is this kind of puppeteer. He's been kind of controlling everyone to do these kind of things through the CIA. And, like, one thing goes wrong and he literally loses his mind.
He throws like a
cup out a window or something.
And he's always smacking the table.
Yeah. I'm like, lad, you're supposed to be some sort of mastermind.
But this is what I said to you afterwards. I was like, I feel like he's the son of the mastermind.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to find out in the next movie that it was his dad.
Because he feels like such a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
It's just, he's not menacing. He had no... And again, what do I know about acting? But all I know is I didn't like it, so this is why I'm saying it. In that, like, I was just like, what? Like,
well, he had no charisma to it. Like, at least, I think Chris Evans brought a little bit of charisma to it. But that's
Chris Evans. Like, that just showed Chris Evans, even with a very poor script, in my opinion, Chris Evans could fall back on being charismatic. Do you know what I mean? Because even some of the dialogue is awful. But, like, just even, like, he's like, what happened to you? It's like, I got shot in the ass. What's it look? Like, that, like, line could have come across as very cheesy, but Chris Evans carries it. But I think Regé Jean Page just showed that, like, he is nothing without it. He brings nothing to the table.
Yeah.
And, like, James Bond, like, he's been discussed for Jake. My God. Cost him his odd job.
Step aside, son, and roll out the carpet for Daryl McCormack.
Daryl McCormack, actually, another person I wanted to mention about this, who was quite good, was, I want to make sure, Dhanush.
Yeah.
So he's a really big star in Indian filmmaking, and apparently, like, he was used to drive a lot of the publicity over there for this movie. He's great.
Yeah.
Oh, I really had a fun time with his character.
You could definitely see him being like a...
I'd love to see him in John Wick.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him as, like, a Mission Impossible villain. But even, like, if... I don't know, because he wasn't really, like... acting to, like in terms of he didn't have much dialogue, so I don't know if he could hold
He was just
the thing.
kind of the action stunt
But
guy,
like, would love to see him in something else. You know what I mean? And I think it's really cool. And that's what I love about these Netflix movies sometimes, where they are able to bring these kind of, because these are for such a global audience. And I think that's also why the script could be poor, because they're like, we're going to have to dub it, or we're going to have, like, you don't want to have to spend too much money on it. But the fact that we can get all of these glimpses for international talent, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But,
and it would, like, to be fair, it is an international cast and crew and whatever, but again, you're spending $200 million.
$200 million.
You have no excuses.
You could have made For the Nice Guys.
Yeah, exactly. We were saying this. What would we have made with that money?
Oh my god, would have made The Nice Guys 2, The Other Guys 2, Sherlock Holmes 3. What else did we say? We said something else. Just a load of two boys having a good time. Men in Black 4. Why not?
They've already made that. Do you know the one with Chris Hemsworth?
Oh, jeez, they did. Fucking and Tessa Thompson. Wow. Oh god. Bring back Liam Neeson in that.
Yeah.
Do you ever, I don't know, spoiler for Men in Black International, but do you ever watch that and thinking, yeah, Liam Neeson's the bad guy?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Anything else to say on this?
No, look, I know we sound very kind of...
we have good things to say about another movie.
Oh, just you wait.
Just you wait.
I know we're kind of whining early on, but, you know, you just stick in there. I know we're only 20 minutes in.
But, like, also, please reach out and let me know if you like this movie.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to know why.
Yeah. What was it that stuck out to you?
Yeah.
Like the only thing, one of the things I did like about it was when they were going around different places. Not that I liked that, because I felt like that was
the fact that they jumped from country to country every 5 seconds.
Yeah, but it actually, they got the countries where I've been.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I've been to Prague. I know where that square is. I've seen that bridge.
Yeah, Charles's Bridge.
Charles Bridge.
I think it's Charles's Bridge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah,
the name Charles is fun. We'll get back to that a little later on.
But yeah, it just took away from any kind of rhythm of the movie.
Yeah. So I'll do my movie you should watch instead.
To pick a Bourne movie, pick a Mission Impossible, or a James
Fallout,
Bond,
or No Time to Die.
Yeah.
The peer review comes from my mother.
Oh, nice.
Because I got this text. She told me she was watching it on Friday, and I was watching it on Friday. So I was like, "Don't text me when you're finished. I want to like watch it first." And at 10:30 in the morning, I got this text from my mother. Hi Gary. 5 stars. Loved The Grey Man. It was everything Bond isn't. So not only did she say that The Grey Man was good, which I thought was outrageous.
Incorrect, yeah.
She then decided to go after one of the things I love most and say yeah. So I found out you can emancipate from your parents at the age of 27. It is possible, yeah. It's great. Also, I have many different ways to be able to put her into her home because she's not well.
Oh, poor thing.
I know. So she gave
this is only the first sign, Gary.
This is the first sign.
I mean, you got to catch it early.
The doctor got that's why she liked The Grey Man.
Oh, it's very bad, son. Imagine me in a white coat. You brought
You go off and get a degree. We'll work in a hospital.
It's all a bit.
It's all a bit. Get over it, Mom. It's a bit. Right, should we move on? So for Blatant Muck Award.
Oh, it's between those two?
I think so.
Oh, jeez, yeah, it's The Grey Man.
It has to be The Grey Man.
And it's got so much publicity.
Yeah, like I always think Netflix have really stopped like running like ads on like buses and like billboards and stuff like that. But it's been all over the internet.
Yeah. It's been all over my YouTube.
Been all over my YouTube. Yeah. Right. Well done, The Grey Man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Who do we get to accept this?
Regé Jean-Page.
Yeah, come here, mate.
Actually, no, he might get an award later on.
Give it to Anna de Armas.
Anna de Armas. Yeah, you can come over.
Yeah, come on. Come here to me.
Next award, Gary.
Next award. So that was our Visible Garbage and... sorry. Well, actually, you just mentioned there that, he might get another award, so we might...
Oh, we're going straight into it.
I think we go straight into it. I think Worst Actor award nominee is Regé Jean-Page.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I don't really have any others. I have Thor, Love and Thunder, but I don't know which character. I just feel like someone that pissed me off. Somebody pissed me off in that movie.
Taika Waititi?
Yeah, he felt like he was phoning it in a bit.
Yeah. But again, I think he's put himself too much in that movie.
Yeah.
There was enough Korg and Ragnarok that you enjoyed it, but he wasn't annoying. Whereas with this,
I don't like to give the kids though.
None of the kids are bad. Like they were
the Heimdall kid.
Oh, he was fine. Like.
Yeah, I think it's the...
there's a lot of people making a big deal of, Heimdall's kid does that thing.
Weird head thing.
Yeah. What do you think about that? That kind of went over my head, like... I was kind of like that.
Nah, it was just bad. It was just like, all right, this is a thing now. Yeah. Cool. That was so stupid. And then the bit at the end, I won't ruin it, but the thing with the kids, that was fucking. That was one of the most. I just remember like just being like, I'm out, tapping out. But the one beside me was loving it.
Yeah, there was a girl behind me who just
I had more disdain for the movie because of how much she was enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, Regé Jean Page.
Are we saying her? Oh, double gazies. Yeah, congratulations.
Oh my god, well done. They might get a third one. Right, what we talk? Okay, those are the worst actors. Let's get on to some best actors. Let's get a bit positive.
Let's get positivity in.
One nominee for me.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Russel Crowe for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why. It just he was silly, so silly, and I think it was because
he was getting in that Grease mood, Gary.
He's getting in that Grease mood. He was doing a weird Greek accent, and I was all there for it. And I think it's because Russell Crowe comes across as quite a serious guy, and there's that whole South Park thing about him fighting people.
Yeah.
And I feel like if someone said a bad joke about him, he'd like knock him out. That's kind of his character in The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
But like just to see him go like just to be a bit silly, and I know this sounds stupid, but to even kind of, I don't like to mention it too much, but it's like even to use his kind of weight as like kind of plays into the type of character he is. He's playing Zeus. And I was kind of like that kind of plays into it a bit. So I was just like, you know what, happy enough. I want to call it out. It was a good performance.
Yeah,
I'll lock it in.
That's fair.
As a nominee. Another nominee, I think I'm going to have to give it to Daisy Edgar-Jones in a movie called Where the Crawdads Sing.
Crawdads are a bird, Gary.
Are they?
I think it's a bird, isn't it?
It's a type of lobster, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I had a bit about it.
Oh, I thought it was a bird.
Let me just look at this very quickly.
No, I must be wrong because I.
You know what? Let's not look into it. Let's just say it's a bird lobster.
It's a lobster that can.
It's a flobster.
No, so this is a book adaptation. It is about a girl who is sort of abandoned by her family, and left in kind of living in a house in a swamp and a marsh in it is a lobster.
It is a lobster, yeah.
What state was it? South Carolina? North Carolina? Yeah. One of the Carolinas.
Somewhere with a swamp?
Yeah, I think it was a Carolina.
I'll look into this, you can tell me.
But she's kind of shunned from society for living kind of this life in the marsh. And so we kind of go through her life, but the main kind of climax of the movie is a kind of, what would you say, a high roller in society, or kind of a important person in society is killed.
That's the climax. That's like the
but see,
conflict. I understand.
Is killed, and she is assumed as the murderer, and so we're going through a trial where she is put in front of her peers in the town, and they're trying to figure out who killed this person. But like, first thing what I will say is everything in this movie is actually really done, really good quality.
Yeah.
Just
wonky CGI birds.
Oh yeah, like this is the type of movie where I'm like, I let that pass, whatever. Yeah, even the leaf scene, that was a bit stupid. The leaf.
Oh, David, I have so much shock with the leaf scene.
Like, I think everything in this, like, objectively was very good. Just personally, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as maybe some people would.
Yeah.
Certainly people who read the book obviously will enjoy this a little bit more. But I can absolutely agree, like, all the acting is quite good in this movie. There's maybe a couple of standout moments where you're like, ooh, it's a little bit kind of silly or stupid. But I think everyone does a good job. I think Daisy Edgar-Jones is probably a standout, but again, I think the movie is definitely on her shoulders.
Yeah.
The couple of
on her claws, please. We'll use the lobster jokes.
Exactly. The character she interacts with is certainly the
Chase,
the lawyer.
No. Oh yes, him.
I thought he was really, really good.
Yeah,
Brought a lot of humanity to it. He has a really good monologue towards the end. He kind of encapsulates the whole kind of meaning of the movie and what kind of what was important to the characters. So yeah, look, I can absolutely understand why people would enjoy this, but personally, I probably just have it a rung below where probably most people would.
Yeah, and I
kind of rate this.
Yeah, and I think for me it was just like, it reminded me of a bit. Remember we saw a movie called Just Mercy last year, and it was kind of like solid, just really solid. But again, I think for me, it was some of how the movie split, where it's like these flashbacks to like getting to know her, seeing growing up and the life she's had, and then also cutting forward to the trial. But like some of the flashbacks was like, but what about this murder you told me about? Like, I kind of want to go back to that, and I'm seeing her fall in love.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I feel like, again, like that's maybe something that's probably woven in the book a bit better.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think personally, I would have loved to have seen more of an investigation and more of the court case.
Yeah.
I think just that seemed a lot more interesting than what we got to see.
Yeah.
Again,
but that's what we big medley men. We don't care if fall in love.
We like death.
We want to see some crawdads
for forensics.
Not once did someone walk into a crime scene with a pair of aviators on and be like, witty comment, takes off sunglasses.
It was also funny, I watched this around the time of Stranger Things, and the Da from Stranger Things, Mike's Da, is the doctor in this.
Oh, so he is,
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, that's not Mike's Da.
He's meant to be in there.
He's meant to be in that couch watching TV.
Yeah, where's that? What's the name of the place in Stranger Things?
It is
Hawkins. Also, this movie's in North Carolina.
Yeah,
You're close.
North Carolina. I said North Carolina.
You said North and South Carolina.
I said the Carolinas. And then I settled on North Carolina.
And I think another thing for me with this movie, I do want to stress, like, Daisy Edgar Jones post Normal People with this and Fresh, two very, very solid movies back to back. So I'm interested to see what she does next. Yeah, she was very unfortunate. COVID, I think, came at the wrong time for her. She had a lot of stuff on the shelf there, and it kind of delayed her rise, but she's definitely hitting it now. Yeah. And I don't know if it's because we're from Ireland, but like, I just got a lot of shit about Paul Mescal, like, everywhere. Do you remember Paul Mescal would do something and everyone's like losing their minds? Remember we went to the shops in a pair of shorts and that was all over, like... Do that all the time? What? Yeah, I do that. Nobody talks about that. But I felt like nobody really talked about Daisy Edgar Jones from Ireland anyway. But when you look at what the two have gone on to do after, like, Paul Mescal was in a Rolling Stones music video and The Lost Order playing Paul Mescal. So just the fact that I've seen her do 3 kind of different roles, on kind of, post Normal People, I think she's probably on the up, and who knows what he's doing next. Maybe he's gonna play a gal match and everyone will lose their mind, or maybe he'll drink a can on the canal and everyone will be like, isn't he cool, he's one of us. I don't like Paul Mescal, David. I can tell. What else about this movie? Is it because he's from Kildare? No, I'm nothing against him. I think it's because I know someone who's also an actor and in the Lear, and everyone in the Lear talks about Paul Mescal and it's like, calm down. So, and you know me, whenever everyone is on a thing, it's a Sam Fender effect. Every time someone says... Nobody loves Sam Fender as much as you. Everyone loves Sam Fender. If you don't like Sam Fender, please let me know. Please. and there are dozens of us, David. Movie you should watch instead. Just Mercy. Just Mercy, yeah. Yeah, that's a good movie. The director of that is doing something. Yeah, there was a lot more heart behind Just Mercy. Yeah, it was just I was just trying to think of a recent, like, wrongly convicted like, crime thing. Yeah. That was really good. Who directed that? Someone was it the guy who did Shang-Chi? No. Was it? Maybe it is, actually. I think I saw his name recently. It is the guy who did Shang-Chi. He's there to do the Avengers. Yeah, the Kang Dynasty. Don't know how I feel about that. Our Lord and Savior Grace Randolph was making a point that was like, who else do they get? Because they need someone like tomorrow to start this. Yeah. And the reason why he's not doing the next one is because they're both coming out in the same year. And when a director finishes a shoot, they need to go into like the editing booth, the visual effects, and he won't have time to do that. And so it's interesting. It's a pointless fact for you. Yeah. Their peer review comes from someone who read the book, Kira. She gave it 4 stars. She says, it was exactly what I was expecting from the book. Daisy Edgar Jones was fantastic as Kay. I forgot her name was Kay. Kaya. Well, she has K written here. Maybe it's a nickname. Who knows? With good interactions with the characters, some details were omitted, which isn't surprising. The movie is good, but the book is better. I told you about that. What? The bit that was omitted. Oh yeah, that was weird. I don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about it. Also, someone cuts a cake weird in this movie, and it hurts me. And then also doesn't want to cut the name, Gary. Yeah, but you can just cut it in a different part. And there's another bit where this guy's like, oh, my mom's dead, and then, I don't care about spoiling this part of the movie. Yeah. And then someone's like, oh, my mom's dead, and then she's like, look at the magical leaves, and they go dance in the leaves, and then they're like, I love you, will you be my girlfriend? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, 30 seconds ago, you were crying about your dead mother, and now you're in love. I'm sure it's that is life, eh? I'm sure it's told in a more kind of... Yeah, probably like 1 to 2 chapters between them in the book. Fuck me, that was rough. I remember just laughing. Everyone was crying. That was another movie where a lot of people were crying. Really? Yes. What screen were you in? Screen 8. Screen 8. Yeah. A lot of women. We were in 8 as well. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but like usually when we go to cinema, it's a lot of dudes. Yeah. A lot of guys, a lot of women, which was good to see them all come out for like a movie. But also, this got 34% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Did it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I thought that was very harsh.
Harsh, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, but I could see why, again, people wouldn't like it, but I felt that was very, very harsh. Right, another... So, Daisy Edgar-Jones nominated for Best Actor. Pierce Brosnan were for excellence in acting.
She should be honoured.
She should be honoured. Movie that we literally just saw 2 hours ago.
Oh, yes.
DC League of Super Pets.
Oh, we're talking about this now.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to mention the actor in it.
Okay, yeah.
Or do you want me to talk about it later?
No, absolutely.
These are all the good movies of the month, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy. DC League of Super Pets. I expected nothing from this. I literally just went to go see this so we had something good to talk about. Or something to talk about. Because I wanted to make comparisons to DC and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's exactly what you expect. It is Superman's dog isn't Super Dog. And he's big friends with Superman. And Superman's falling for Lois. And... Crypto is the name of the super dog, and he's like, oh, where's my place in life if Superman's not going to be my friend and pal anymore? And then there's an orange kryptonite crystal that gives other pets superpowers, and one of those pets kidnaps Superman, and it's up to Crypto to save the day with other super pets. And I was thinking to myself, this looks awful, because I just wasn't going to have a good time. But it's actually quite funny.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it in the cinema, perfectly. Watch it on a plane.
Ah, lad, I think it's a good time.
Good time. It helped that there was like a load of kids laughing at every joke in the screen. But I think the reason why I want to bring this up in this category is I'm hoping Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible. She is one of the the voice cast overall is great. Kate McKinnon's in it. Like the voice cast is The Rock, Kevin Hart, John Krasinski, Keanu Reeves, Vanessa Bayer, Middleditch and Schwartz.
Yeah.
It is a stacked cast.
Yeah.
Really, really strong. Voice performances, which is actually something I'll come back to later on. We talk about another animated movie, but I think for this, everyone knocks it out of the park. The Rock and Kevin Hart kind of just do their own shtick, but I think Kate McKinnon really hams it up. I think that I don't know about her character, just kind of falls off. I find
second half didn't do as much for me as first half. I think it was just more the kind of shock factor.
Yeah.
Whereas like once she becomes super powered, she's more kind of it's less of her kind of talking, more kind of action.
But Natasha Lyonne plays like a speedy turtle or whatever the fuck. I don't know what the name is. Morton. Yeah. Sure. And she just has a lot of one-liners that are fucking incredible, and like just actually laugh at moments.
Surprising.
And I'm not going to say any of them now, but like I would watch it just for that. But like as a story as well, it's a good, decent story. It's solid. It's like why I was kind of going to watch it as well was because like as someone who's interested in DC, I wanted to see what they did with the characters of DC, and I think they actually do a really good job of it. Yeah. And there's some really cool bits in it, and like, you know, they kind of have the Aquaman to look more like Jason Momoa. Yeah. They do something cool with the Green Lantern character. I don't remember seeing that in the ads.
No, I never. But
that's cool. Like there's just a load of cool. It's just a cool movie that seems to have a lot of heart in it as well.
Yeah, I do like what DC are doing in terms of just having things separate.
Yeah.
Just like not even like trying to
here is a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't try and relate it to the other things.
So like in this universe there is a Lex Luthor, there is a Justice League, there's all these different things, whatever. Superman goes around with Crypto the Superdog. Just deal with it.
Yeah, there's no explanation to anything too much. There's a dog with a fucking mustache.
Yeah.
Some people could get over it. I didn't. I got up and screamed at the projectionist. I was like, focus! Focus! This can't be right. That dog can't have a mustache.
Do you ever see those dogs though? Those dogs that look like they have
beards. What, has a fucking mustache, David?
There's dogs that look like they have
See, there's the difference we're talking about, David. There's dogs that look like they have a mustache. This dog had a fucking groomed mustache.
They could have animated it that way. But no.
No, David, we're not moving off this point. The dog had a mustache. Groomed. How'd that happen? I know it's an alien planet.
It's super dog.
I'm not happy about it. But yeah, so I want to nominate Natasha Lyonne because she actually made this movie for me.
Yeah,
absolutely. And also I recently watched Russian Doll season 2, which I actually wasn't a big. It was fine. I much for season 1. I kind of felt like she was doing her usual shtick in it.
Yeah.
But to see her shtick applied to this, big fan.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, really big fan of it.
Yeah.
In terms of what you should watch instead.
I think it's worth a watch.
I think it's worth a watch, but if you don't want to watch it, go watch The Secret Life of Pets. That's a good one.
It's better than this though, is it?
I think so.
I've not seen it.
You never seen it? No. Have I seen a movie about pets and you haven't?
No, it's just one that went over my head. It's 2016, yeah.
Were you away?
I was in Belgium.
Oh, nice for some. Look, it's definitely worth a watch. If you like superhero stuff, watch it. It's a fun time.
I think it's a fun time with the family.
Hour and 40 minutes, maybe, give or take. And the peer review, I have 2, because one's a bit mean. One comes from Matt, 1.5 stars, woof. And then the other one comes from Anna. It's 3.5 stars, and she goes, "The fact that all DC animated movies are 1,000 times funnier than anything Marvel has ever done will never stop being amusing to me. This is such a fun watch."
Call Marvel out.
I know, which this movie does a bit, which I was a big fan of.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely worth a watch. Give it a go. But when it comes to acting, there's only one movie. I don't know if we're going to give it to this, but there's only one movie. There's one movie that stands out for acting, but also just stands out for the month, and is the absolute shining light of the dreary month that is July, and that is the movie Brian and Charles. Take it away, dude.
So, myself and Gary have gotten to a stage in our cinema watching where most things are quite generic to us. Even things that should be surprising, just we can see it coming from a mile away.
It's like how we knew Liam Neeson was going to be the bad guy. Man in Black International. Like,
that movie you forgot existed.
Yawn.
So, like, things that stand out to us are usually either something we've never seen before,
and everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah,
or
something that is so ridiculous,
like a Bard and Star go to visit them,
and so beyond belief, like a lighthouse.
Like a lighthouse. Just looking at a fucking lighthouse on the ocean, just being like, what is that?
And Brian and Charles is exactly that movie.
Yeah.
The story behind this is we meet Brian, who is an inventor. He lives in the Welsh Valleys. He is a bit of a recluse, kind of keeps to himself, but he just likes to invent things like fishnets that stick to your shoes, so that if you're walking along, something behind you can catch it with your fishnets.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to think of another one.
He makes a bike with a grandfather clock on it, so he can that with wings, so he can fly. And if people in the village ever want to know what time it is, they look up and see Brian, and they're like, "Oh, 2:15." He also makes a bag with acorns on it.
Oh, with the pine cones.
Pine cone bag.
It's just a bag with pine cones. No reason for it.
And then he makes an egg belt.
Belt
for eggs.
Yeah.
A weird, quirky man.
So we're dealing with an eccentric here.
A genius.
But Brian decides he's going to make a robot with a washing machine and a mannequin head. Those are the two big ones. And so on a stormy night, he comes home and Charles has been created. And we're introduced to one of cinema's greatest ever characters. I might be doing this a little bit of a disservice.
Charles Bachescu is his full name.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even want to say too much about this movie.
No.
Because, like, at the end of the day, we should have changed all of the, like, what you should watch instead to Brian and Charles. Watch Brian and Charles.
Just watch Brian and Charles.
Just go fucking find it and watch it.
Yeah.
It's just really fun. It's silly time. It's a 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
It was originally a 12-minute short, which is actually on YouTube, but I would recommend go watch the movie.
Yeah.
And and like when I say robot, like when we say robot, it's not an iRobot.
Yeah.
It's not an Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator. It's not a Socks from Lightyear.
Yeah.
There's a Lightyear reference.
Callback.
This is like a clunky, like chunky robot that is just.
It's ridiculous.
It's so stupid looking. His tummy is a washing machine.
It's so funny.
But yeah, look.
He's sassy.
He's a sassy robot.
He goes through life kind of cycles as well, which it gives him a real kind of
much like the cycle on a washing machine does.
Yeah, there you go. And it just the character is so good.
So like I think also what the Brian is eccentric, Charles looks ridiculous, but it's the acting of the Charles both voice, which is so unique.
Yeah.
Charles Bachescu. But also the puppeteering of it, because like the emotions they're able to convey with a washing machine and a mannequin head is fantastic. The bit with the hulu skirt, like there's just so many bits in it that are and I don't watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Because I watched the trailer after, it gives away all the good jokes. So definitely don't do that. But like I said, go find it and watch it. But it's just so sweet and so fun. Like I think my biggest, I only gave it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why is because you can tell it's a 12-minute short made into an hour-and-a-half movie where a bit of it drags and you don't really know where it's going. But again, it's all to do with those character interactions. That's what makes it. And like it's just like the whole introduction to Brian at the beginning. It's all shot like a mockumentary, so you kind of get a bit of an insight to Brian and kind of understanding his mind or his thought process behind things, and then just seeing Charles come into it and everything. It's
so sweet as well.
It's so sweet. It's such a like you turned to me and you thought I'd hate it.
Yeah, I honestly thought Gary was gonna like storm out like at halfway through. But, no, it's just, and like I don't want to say too much about it either because it's just like the surprise we got in the cinema was like it's just and. I just remember at the start, like every once in a while, it'd be just like a little bit of laughter, and then it just got bigger and got bigger. And Charles would just start saying something, and it was just people like actually laughing out loud. And we like if anyone's been in Omniplex Screen 9, I think it was a perfect place to see it as well.
Except for the fucking person behind me that kept talking.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, well, see, I'm a cranky old man. I notice everything.
Yeah, I just think this could have got lost if we were in a big cinema.
Yeah, I think so.
With,
absolutely.
Like, a lot of people kind of spread out. But yeah. Just try and find.
But you know what's gas about it is like, and this is why I love the OmniPass thing. Who again, we're so not sponsored by.
Yeah,
we'll make that very clear.
Yeah,
but it's just like we literally decided. I think maybe an hour before you text me at 5:00, being like, "Might go see Brian Charles," and we just went.
Yeah,
and that's why I love the OmniPass thing. But also, again, would we have seen this movie if we didn't have the pass? No.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what our duty and job is, to tell you what's worth to go see. And I think Brian Charles. What you should watch instead of this? Nothing else. Just Brian Charles.
Just go see Brian Charles.
So
yeah, like. I think what if you can't clarify anything from that conversation, this is the best movie this month.
Oh yeah, well don't give that away.
No, just like
yeah,
objectively,
yes,
like Thor, DC League of Super Pets, all that stuff that was you'll see billboards for Grey Man, you'll see ads on YouTube before your video of.
You'll see sequels to all those, but will you see a sequel to Brian Charles?
But
I hope so.
No.
Two Charleses.
Charleses, yeah. But yeah, just like support movies like this because they definitely deserve it.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. And I think the peer review comes from Cinema Void, 3.5 stars. I wish my tummy was a washing machine so I could wash away all the tears I've shed for a cheeky robot named Charles Petrescu.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But yeah, so best actor.
Yeah,
I think we have to give it to Charles. I don't even know the actor's name.
I know. We said he was a voice actor, didn't you?
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, it's just, and like, it's not that the stuff he's saying is particularly funny. It's not what he has to say, but how he has to say it. Yeah, exactly. And it's like whatever way they got it to like just the pitch. Oh, it was so fucking
Chris Hayward.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations, man. That was phenomenal.
So good. I'd love to say I'd love to see what you do next, but if it's not another Brian Charles movie, you can fucking fuck off.
Sort yourself
out. Yeah. So well done, Chris Hayward.
Yeah, come in your costume.
Yeah, come in.
Arrive in your costume.
And
we'll give you your award.
Yeah, we'll get you to beat up Rachel Page. Okay, so that's our best actor, worst actor, and our blatant muck. I think we move on to our hidden gem because I think Brian Charles is definitely part of that. But there's also another movie that maybe people might not have heard of, which is a movie on Netflix called The Sea Beast.
Yeah.
Now, again, I had no hopes for this. It was a movie on Netflix. I'd heard good things, and like it's got like 94% Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. It's got Carl Urban. It's got the guy from Chernobyl.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
He's like the son of someone famous. I found this out recently. Wouldn't it be good if I gave you any more details than things he's been in? He was in Morbius.
He was.
Oh, fun fact, the girl who voices the girl in this is also in Morbius. It's a Morbius reunion.
Oh, wow.
So I'll tell you anything more about this movie than who's in it. But basically, it's an animated movie. It's from Netflix. It's originally done by Sony, but Netflix bought the distribution rights from it. And it's a movie about these sea beasts in the world, like big kind of Kraken-esque monsters. And they are kind of all over the oceans, and it's up to these hunters, like basically pirates, to go and find them and hunt them down on behalf of the monarchy or the royals. And what happens then is
that's an important point. The royals.
And what's important then? So yeah, and then what happens is there's this one big beast. It's red. It's called the something. What's the name of this beast?
The red kraken. Is it?
The red sea beast.
Yeah. Also, Dan Stevens is in this. I don't know who he voices. Yeah, I don't know who he voices, but according to Rotten Tomatoes, Dan Stevens is in the movie.
There you go. Isn't it called the fucking... I'm just going to look this up because it's going to piss me off. So it's Jared Harris.
Yeah, sorry, I have that there as well.
The guy. But they are looking to hunt down the big Red Bluster. Is that
Red Bluster, yeah, that's it.
So it's called Red Bluster, and the royals are like, here, come here to me. We're after building a big ship to hunt down this big red sea beast that you can't kill. And then we're going to put all the hunters out of commission. And then Carl Urban is like, hey, give us one more shot. We can definitely get this. And he's joined by this little girl who's a bit of a rebel. Maisie, who is just like, I love the sea. I've been reading these stories all my life. I can't wait to be part of this sea beast business. And they go out to sea. And I didn't enjoy this movie, if you can tell. And they go out to sea and they go to hunt down the red beast, the red bluster. But let's just say the red bluster is not what they expect it to be. And it is all about coming to terms with what is truly evil in this world.
Oh, Gary.
There you go.
There you go.
Look at me navigate that towards the end, eh?
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Dodge a lot of
I should get an award every month. Gary says a sentence.
So this is brought to you by the filmmaker Chris Williams, who also was a part of Moana, Big Hero 6, and the movie Bolt.
Okay.
And I don't know if I'd put it on those sort of levels. Like, I think Moana and Big Hero 6 are probably a step above this, but
absolutely.
Definitely in terms of like a Netflix movie, a Netflix animated movie, I think this is actually quite good. It's a fun time. There's nothing unique about this. Like as we said in our reviews on Letterboxd, I think it's kind of the mix of How to Train Your Dragon and Pirates of the Caribbean. Like they're kind of those two different things kind of mixed in together. But what I will say is, look, the animation is grand. They do. I think the story is, while generic, it actually holds up quite well. Like there's no point where you're like losing kind of focus on what's
the pace is good.
Yeah, it works well that way. The thing that made it for me is the bit at the end, and I know you're gonna come out and say, you know, this is my anti kind of establishment thing. But I think
let's just say the royals aren't all there.
Yeah, I think it does bring that kind of a nice message or whatever of, you know, what is as you say, what is truly evil, or what can we trust or whatever.
Yeah.
And I know, like it, like
sometimes you got to go out into the own world and experience something and make your own opinion on it.
I just feel do you know what I was expecting at the end of this movie? I was expecting that the Red Bluster would arrive at the kingdom, okay, and there'd be a bit of a fight. But then after all, everyone be friends.
Yeah.
Whatever. But that's not what happens. They actually kind of do a little bit of a flip, do a little bit of subverting expectation. That's what I kind of enjoyed. Yeah. But as I said, I think this is a Netflix movie, nice little Netflix movie for families and stuff, but probably nothing more than that. Yeah,
and I think the animation wise, it's fine. Yeah. I thought the sea beast itself, the Red Bluster, was not very detailed. It was very like flat, I felt. Yeah.
Now there is other sea beasts that are kind of a little bit more...
They're in it for a shorter period of time, so therefore you can kind of add some more detail to that. But if you have one monster that's in the whole thing, you kind of make it smoother so you don't have to add much texture and stuff.
Exactly.
But I thought the voice acting was fine. Like, I just felt like everything was fine about it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Fair, yeah.
But like, again, I said this to you earlier, where I was like, if this was Pixar or Disney or Illumination or Warner Brothers Animation, I'd be like, this has been phoned in. Yeah. But if the fact that it's a studio who don't do much trying to like establish themselves, I'm like, you know what?
Stepping stone.
Yeah, fine. It didn't... I didn't actively hate it, and I actively hate a lot of stuff. So I was like, fair play to you. Do you know what I mean? I could have easily found something about this movie I didn't like, but I didn't. Because I'm the true evil.
Congratulations.
I should get an award for that. But yeah, and in terms of the peer review, it comes from somebody whose name I wrote down here somewhere. It comes from Brian. It says, How to Train Your Moana of the Caribbean. Really fun, a true surprise.
Yeah. And for what you watch instead, one of those.
Yeah, go watch Moana. Have you seen Moana?
Yeah.
That's good crack, isn't it?
Good time, yeah.
The Rock's good in it.
See, I don't like The Rock.
You don't like The Rock?
He's just getting my nerves, man.
Yeah, no,
especially after tonight.
Go watch Moana. Moana's pretty good.
Yeah.
But also, another kind of thing, just very briefly as well, just when you said Moana and Big Hero 6, those were able to build the world really interesting, whereas I felt like the world in this was kind of like, fine.
I thought they built a good kind of community around the hunters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I suppose. I just didn't click with me.
Obviously, like different ships or whatever, and one ship has to save another ship and stuff like that. But
it's fine.
The fact that it's what is it? 1 hour.
It's 1:58.
Is it?
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't seem like that to me.
I know.
Anyway. But yeah, the fact that it's on Netflix, for me, again, I never really have huge expectations for movies like this. So maybe that's why I just have it rung below, yeah.
And then in terms of, you know, other hidden gems, then I wouldn't say there's anything else other than Brian and Charles.
No, I mean it's this and Brian, or sorry, Sea Beast and Brian and Charles.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see a huge amount of advertising for the Sea Beast, even on Netflix. Like, it's just kind of there. So, but like
another award for Brian and Charles.
Oh, I mean, like,
Brian, get over here! We're having a party. It's Brian, Anna de Armas, and Richard Jean Page. Charles,
in costume,
or else you're out of here. You're gonna go, if you show up as Chris Hayward, you're not like getting let in.
We don't know who you are. You're not on the list
unless you're saying funny words. Charles Francesco, you can get out of here. Okay, right. 4 down, 2 to go. We're doing movie of the month, PV of the month. PV of the month. We haven't. We've. Our 2 nominees are The Grey Man, and the other one is The Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Do you want to do Minions or will I do Minions?
No, you go on ahead.
Okay, fine.
I think it...
Okay, I'll do Minions. So, Minions: The Rise of Gru. Why did we watch this movie? Because I wanted to see boys in suits. There was the gentle minion trend on TikTok where boys were boys and girls, but predominantly boys because boys are stupid, and we're showing up in cinemas dressed in suits going to see Minions: The Rise of Gru, to the point where cinemas were banning people in suits going to see the Minions: The Rise of Gru, and to the point where Omniplex were like 2 weeks behind and ended up having a Gentle Minions viewing of Minions, which nobody went to because it was too late. Not in the day, just for the trend. TikTok is a fast business. So there was a lot of hype about this movie. It was been on the shelf for 2 years, and the Minions movies just print cash. The Despicable Me movies do that as well. So this movie is a sequel to Minions, which I also watched, and I don't like these movies. But look, they're not for me. As you said before, these movies are not for me. They're not for you. They're for some people. Maybe Charles. Charles would enjoy it. Charles would enjoy Minions, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have a good time.
He'd have a good time.
But, so this movie is all about... what the fuck is this movie about? So, the Minions are with young Gru, and young Gru wants to join, like, this... League of supervillains called, like, the Disastrous Five. Dangerous
Dastardly?
Five. Dangerous Six?
Sure, yeah.
Something like this. They're after an egg. So so what happens is he has to steal some amulet, which they have to show that he is just as good of a superhero as them. But he's supervillain, sorry. But he is teaming up with another supervillain who was kicked out of this super league of villains thing, and it's all about them coming together to get this amulet to prove that he's the best supervillain, and then the supervillains want the amulet to do a thing on Chinese New Year to get superpowers.
Something like that.
This movie is not for us.
No.
But look, what it is good animation.
Yeah.
Very, very good animation. Really solid. I love that they also invented a new minion. What was his name? Otto, because like there's money.
Yeah, exactly.
They were just like, we've got the 3 main, like Kevin, Bob, and the other one, Charles. And they're like, add another one there, print money with that.
Yeah.
Like, can't blame them for it. Story is fine. I think the animation can be cool at times. I like the world of Despicable Me. I really like the cool ships and the gadgets. Like, that's all really cool stuff. And this movie kind of has that, of course. The story is fine.
Generic enough,
I think what disappointed me the most, and that's kind of hard to do with a Minions movie, but the voice acting, I just thought everyone was grand in it. Nobody really stood out as like when you compare it to DC League of Super Pets.
Yeah, there wasn't any significant.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, significant attitude for each character. It was just like
Alan Arkin's in this.
Yeah,
I'm just like you couldn't. I couldn't think back and be like, this person was good in that. You know what I mean? I think it's. They
didn't put their spin on it. Yeah.
So that was a bit disappointing. But look, not for me.
Yeah, I think like personally, I think like most of this was kind of childish enough, but there was points in it where I was like, that's kind of funny, you know.
Yeah, there were some. Yeah, there were bits I laughed at.
Yeah,
and then thought to myself, oh, I hate myself. Oh God, what happened?
No, there was bits that they definitely put in for parents and stuff like that, where like the Minions do stupid stuff. And
it's set in the 70s, so there's obviously like reference. The tunes in this, very good tunes.
Yeah, very good tunes.
But they would obviously put some 70s references in, so adults would be like, hey, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's an hour and a half. Love that.
Get through that quickly.
Speed through it. Get it on the box.
Although at this stage, parents of children be in their 70s.
Yeah, but they don't understand it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's like the way I didn't go through the 70s, but like, I know my dad did, and like a lot of obviously stuff that he liked.
Yeah.
You know, I saw David Bowie. I'm like, he liked David Bowie. I think. Still no one to get him for his birthday ever. Socks.
A wallet.
A wallet. The usual.
But yeah, this is just it's children's movie. Yeah. Not for us.
Not for us. But look, great stick on for kids.
Sticking on for the kids.
I also thought
See, that's the problem though. You're saying it's a good thing that it's an hour and a half. Stick this on for the kids. You want that as long as you can.
Yeah, but the kids are going to be bored.
Are they going to lose?
This has definitely been in the middle as a bit of a lull.
Yeah.
Before the big thing at the end.
Big thing at the end, yeah. Yeah, because you know the way they go to somewhere and then they leave and then they come back and it's gone.
What?
The building.
Oh yeah,
falls
the
out,
building. Yeah.
Which I thought was a bit weird. Like they're.
Oh,
Michelle Yeoh's in this.
Michelle Yeoh's in it. That
She's
character's
on
a
a
bit weird.
Yeah, I know, but she's on a roll.
She's also in Paws of Fury, which we didn't cover.
What's that?
You remember the movie on Paramount? It's on Paramount Plus. It's Paws of Fury. It's some shite on. It look at it and you'd be like, that looks bad.
Right.
I don't know. Who else? What's her name? Taraji P Henson.
Yeah,
she's the main bad guy in it. She's fine. Like
yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme's in it. Russell Crowe, Dolph Lundgren.
Russell Crowe.
Did I say Russell Crowe? I meant Russell Brand.
RZA.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
No,
go watch. So I think the one for me, Schindler's List. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you're not going in the mood for Minions, Schindler's List is great. I watched it recently and I had a really good time with it. Not obviously, like, enjoyed what was happening, but, like, it's a really important movie. And I think if your kids aren't up for Minions, Schindler's List.
I concur.
And the peer review then comes from... Do I even have one for this? Oh, yeah. This one's Kynan, 1 star. Minions: The Rise of Gru is the cinematic equivalent of rattling keys to distract a baby.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, look, we nominate it for Poovy, but we don't think it's the worst one.
No.
But are we also giving it to The Grey Man?
Oh, yeah, the worst.
So that's getting Visible Garbage and Poovy of the Month. And Worst Actor. That's a triple badness for The Grey Man.
Yeah, it is. No, actually, I don't know. Fuck, that's a bit harsh, isn't it?
It is the worst movie.
Yeah, is it Visible Garbage though? Yeah, it is.
It is Visible
Give it
Garbage.
to it. Give it.
Triple winners. We've never seen it before.
No.
I don't think that'll ever happen again. Movie of the month's probably Brian and Charles.
There's nothing else to talk about now. Minions.
We've talked about everything.
Oh, there we go. No, movie of the month. Okay, we have nominated.
Nominated is Brian Charles, Where the Crawdads Sing, and DC League of Super Pets.
See, I think if anyone else was picking the winners, actually, you know what? If different people were picking the winners, I think there will be different winners. I don't think there's an outright winner this month. Like, objectively, I don't think, like, there's anything there. No, like, I think, like, objectively, Brian Charles is a better movie.
Yeah.
But subjectively, we think it's a better movie.
This is true. Well, like, look, this is why I was so annoyed when Nope is out in September. Because if Nope was here, I don't know if it would win, but, like, it would definitely give us more.
It'd give us more to talk about.
Yeah. And there's movies we didn't cover, like Persuasion, didn't cover that. That looked awful. There's a movie called Joy.
Lily watched that for us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. Here's a peer review from Lily. Yeah, peer review from Lily on Persuasion. 1 star. The character assassination of Anne Elliot. This has ruined my birthday, summer holiday, Halloween, Christmas and New Year. When will we get the persuasion we deserve? We ask ourselves that every day.
Big words, big
words. It's also going to be the name of this podcast.
What?
Give us the persuasion we want.
The persuasion we want.
With Gary and David.
But no, I think between the Academy...
Yeah, we have to go to the one... What did I say? How many? 1,500 minions?
No, I think it's pretty obvious between two of us. Like, there's only one answer.
And the Minions are kind of swaying me, David. They're making good arguments. Brian Charles. So, are we saying now that Brian Charles has won 3 awards, and the Grey Man 3 awards? That's never happened before.
I know.
That's a huge. Like, it also shows how shit this month was.
Yeah,
that everything's so
very
in the middle.
Weak. Very
and like I added up our reviews. Like the scores we give all the movies, and like this is our worst month for both of us. And I think I was a bit harsher on it. I had a bad month just in general, and then this made it worse.
Yeah. But if you've learned anything from this podcast, go find Brian and Charles.
Go find them and tell them we say hello. But let's look ahead, because there's also some more bad movies on the way.
Oh, I can't wait.
No, we're starting August. August has 2 ones I'm very excited for. Yeah. One being Bullet Train.
Oh, can't wait.
Directed by the John Wick dude. It's got Brad Pitt in it. It's on a bullet train. It looks like it's fun action.
Yeah.
Great cast. It could be bad, but it looks like it'll definitely be something.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it's taking a shot. Yeah. Whether it'll hit the target, who knows.
Looks like a Nice Guys for me. That kind of level of...
Yeah. Bit of tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Love to see it. So that's out August 3rd in cinemas. Prey, August 5th.
Yeah.
Predator prequel set in like the... When is it? 300 years ago.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and it's in the Comanche Nation.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of it. Yeah. I love that they went with it, because they clearly run out of road with what they want to do with Predator.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if you saw Predator, the last one. Horrendous.
Predator, the last one.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Predator.
No, with Shane Black.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch
Horrendous.
it. I think you watched it and said it was bad, and I was like, no.
I watched it in a cinema in Kuala Lumpur because I was too hot.
Where?
Kuala Lumpur.
Where's that?
It's Malaysia.
Oh, very nice.
It was too hot.
Oh, there you
had
go.
to go into an air-conditioned cinema.
Yeah, I respect
for
that.
2 hours.
Also, out August 5th, Amazon Prime, we've got 13 Lives, which is the film. So the film chronicles the events of the 2018 Swam Luang cave rescue that saw a junior football team and their coach trapped in a cave for a period of 18 days.
Colin Farrell going for his second Gazzy.
He might get it. He might get. It's so hard to say. Imagine that, 2 Gazzys in 1 year. You know you're on the right track to Hollywood fame with that. Colin Farrell's in it. Viggo Mortensen's in it, and it's directed by Ron Howard. Like that's. I don't know.
I've been hearing good things.
I wonder if this is why Gary says the movie's going to be good and it ends up being bad.
No, I've been hearing good things.
Good talent attached.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what it is.
Yeah.
Then we August 12th. Nope. Next Jordan Peele movie. I only you told me to get out and watch Us.
Yeah.
I've already got out. I haven't watched Us yet. But I really like Get Out. So I'm excited for Nope and all the talent involved. Stephen Yeun, Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, who was recently in Lightyear, and another thing, I forget. We got Fall. Have you seen this?
Don't know what that is.
Oh, do I have to read the whole thing?
No, just give me a...
It looks like someone... Okay, let me find
Wait, tell me who's in it.
Nobody you know.
Oh.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan and 2 people I don't know. Grace Caroline Curry and Virginia Gardner.
Oh,
So, for best friends, Becky and Hunter, life is all about conquering fears and pushing limits. But after they climb 2,000 feet to the top of a remote abandoned radio tower, they find themselves stranded with no way down. Now, Becky and Hunter's expert climbing skills will be put to the ultimate test as they desperately fight to survive the elements, a lack of supplies, and vertigo-inducing heights in this adrenaline-fueled thriller co-starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
You've seen Everest?
I haven't been myself. No, I haven't.
The movie. It sounds like that.
Yeah, like it looks like a kind of 127 hours where it's like just 2 people in an environment kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's coming out. As you can tell, I've really kind of scraped after those. I kind of scraped the barrel because I don't know if I'm going to watch all these, but I'm going to talk about them because
Oh, fuck, they're not on a mountain.
no, they're on top of radio tower.
Sorry. I got that.
They're like a desert. Then we've got a movie on the streaming service that definitely don't sponsor us, Paramount Plus, August 12th as well. A lot of movies coming out on August 12th. Secret Headquarters. So it's basically, while hanging out after school, Charlie and his friends discover the headquarters of the world's most powerful superhero hidden beneath his home.
Oh,
when villains attack, they must team up to defend the headquarters and save the world. It looks awful. It's got Owen Wilson in it. It's got Michael Pena. It's got a kid. Oh, it's got the kid from the Adam Project and one of the kids from Good Boys. It looks like Spy Kids and Iron Man.
It's not your man Jacob Tremblay.
No, it's the guy with the flat top.
Yeah.
He was good in it though. Anyway, he doesn't look great in this. Look, I'm just talking about it because I might not have a lot of movies to talk about next month, so this might get talked about just for the shits and giggles.
Did you hear that? You might get talked about.
Might get talked about. Tell your friends.
See, I'm trying to see if... do you know where Rotten Tomatoes usually puts up, like...
See, it's all to do with American and Irish. See, this is the annoying thing where sometimes Irish cinemas don't tell me what's coming out, so I'm just going off a lot of streaming services here. Another one from Netflix, Day Shift, August 12th. It's got Jamie Foxx. He's working as a vampire hunter with James Franco.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It looks...
James Franco, yeah?
David Franco.
Dave Franco,
yeah, sorry.
thinking.
And it's got Snoop Dogg in it.
Could be fun.
It could be fun. It's a Netflix movie.
Could also be Project Power.
It could be... Fucking hate that movie. So that's another movie on the horizon. Emily the Criminal looks kind of interesting. It's all about this woman who is trying to pay back her college debt and she gets like fired from her job or something like that.
Anti-establishment.
It is pretty anti-establishment where then she's involved with this like credit card scam, but then she kind of gets a taste for crime and then becomes Emily the Criminal, but then maybe gets a bit in over her head. It's got Audrey Plaza in it in a non-comedy role, so I'm kind of interested in that. And then finally the last one I have here is Orphan First Kill, which is the prequel to the Orphan movie, also on Paramount Plus, August 19th, but it's the same actress playing the kid 10 years on.
Pass.
Yes. I just said this for anyone who likes horror. As you can see, he's scraping the barrel.
Yeah.
I'm most excited for Bullet Train and Nope.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking for stuff on Rotten Tomatoes here.
So there's another movie which might be coming out, which is 3,000 years something? 3,000 Years of Longing? Ugh. I don't know. It's George Miller.
Cool.
Mad Max Fury Road guy, and Idris Elba, and...
yeah, we'll see.
And Tilda Swinton. Oh, Beast as well. Idris Elba and Charlotte Copley in South Africa. Chasing a wild beast.
Easy.
What? Steve, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's what we have ahead of us, and that's what we have behind us.
I don't know, like, I'm definitely, we'll start the month off right with Nope.
Yeah, and then we're going on holidays. to relax. Yeah, I don't know when we're gonna get time to do this next one. We're gonna have to talk about that.
Do it on holidays.
I think we should do it on holidays. Because our friends are off doing another thing, and we should stay behind
and do this.
That'd be excellent. Oh yeah, let's do that.
Stay inside.
Away
from the sun.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Well, look, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, thank you so much for listening. But again, what we would love you to do is, if you're watching any new movies next month, either ones we've mentioned or ones we haven't mentioned, slide into those DMs on Instagram, just the Reading the Peers one, not my personal one, don't be a creep, but let me know what you're watching, what you think of it, because it influences both what we watch but also I guess how we think of things, because like sometimes when you watch a movie and you hear someone else's view on it, it either like gives you a different perspective or just like makes you not want to go home for family dinner in a while because of certain views towards the Grey Man, which received all of the bad awards this month. And so please, it's either on, like I said, Instagram at Reading in the Peers, or on Letterboxd, follow myself or David, and smash that 5 stars on Spotify, please and thank you.
Do it.
Do
your homework.
But yeah, David, anything else to sign off on for the month of July?
No, as Gary said, if you have any suggestions or if you have anything you're looking forward to or anything that you enjoyed, let us know.
Not even about movies.
Yeah.
If you've any exciting life things coming out, you've got a christening coming up, maybe a wedding.
Or even if it was a movie that like had been out like ages and you still watch it.
Yeah, like, because I'll tell you what, a great movie got recommended to me. It's called Triple R.
Yeah.
And that looks wild. Can't wait to go back and watch
3 hours, man.
3 hours, I'll find time with that. How long is the flight to where we're going on holidays? 4 hours?
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Right, so we should leave it there. It's going to be a long flight. But you know what I might do instead? Might watch Brian Charles 4 times.
Exactly.
Good time. Right, Mr. Scanlon, thank you as always for coming back and doing this, and for everyone listening, very much appreciate it. And until next time, you better have watched Brian and Charles, because it's all we're going to ever talk about. Right, let's wrap this up. Take it easy. Goodbye.